next speaker will be District 5 Supervisor Chance Condon.
Commander Morales, thank you for the invitation to speak on this sacred day. To the Ceres VFW Post 10293 and the American Legion Post 491, thank you for your commitment to our country and to the cause of serving veterans in our community. We salute you for your service. Today, we celebrate and honor the lives of our fallen heroes at ceremonies across the nation. Each year, we remember those who paid the ultimate price for freedom. And because of their sacrifice, the American dream endures. While we gather here today and enjoy the freedoms made possible by those who answered the greatest call of service, let us reflect on those lost to the ravages of war. Those who were known by rank and company were also known by other titles, such as dad, brother, sister, cousin, or friend. Average Americans who answered the call of duty when our country needed them the most. Those whose patriotism spoke louder through their actions than their words. Many of them young Americans whose blood shed across the continents, from the beaches of Normandy, the jungles of Vietnam, to the deserts of Iraq, many of which were fresh out of high school, whether enlisted or drafted. Their lives were put on hold. Whatever dreams they may have once had were cut short in order for our American dream to endure. Whether it's to one day return home to resume civilian life, raising a family, or simply growing old. Those we honor today, for the most part, never got that chance. Never truly got to enjoy the freedoms of which they died for. One of which was a 23-year-old son of Mexican immigrants named Rudolph Melendez. Hailing from Santa Clara, he was drafted into the United States Army, beginning his tour of duty on March 8, 1967, serving in the infantry as a private first class. When a close friend who was becoming ill was given orders on a mission in the Dang Tong province, Melendez volunteered to go in his place. On the night of August 20th, 1967, their platoon was ambushed while on patrol. Only 2 men would survive that night. Rudolph Melendez was not one of them. Melendez was killed in action from an explosive device. He is memorialized on panel 25E, line 19 of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C. Rudolph Melendez is my uncle, an uncle I never knew. His legacy is something that lives on, and his death, like all those before and since, were not in vain. After my uncle's death, his sister was so grief-stricken, she wanted to bear another child in hopes of having a son to name after her younger brother, despite being done having children. My grandparents did end up conceiving a child, but it was a little girl. My mother, Helen Felice, was born, the last of her siblings. My uncle's story is like so many who willingly accepted call of duty, paying the ultimate price. Our call of duty as civilians is to remember them, honor them, and for those who came home, it is our turn to serve them. That's the least we can do. Christ proclaimed to his disciples, "There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for a friend." There is no truer statement that commemorates the American veteran. For whether they fell or not, whether they knew us or not, they were all prepared to pay the ultimate cost for each of us. So let us say to those who served, both past and current, those who wore our nation's uniform in times of peace and in times of conflict, we have not forgotten. We will not take for granted. We shall continue to remember. We recognize you as our nation's heroes. We shall continue to honor the sacrifice you made. Thank you and God bless.